I thought I was singing, but I was actually screaming. So under occupation, I wrote challenge. You are not the artist we are looking for. There's like a certain type of artist that they were looking for, and I noticed even from the people that they picked, something is wrong. Maybe you didn't practice. Imagine you've over practiced and then someone is telling you maybe you didn't practice. And then finally, Judge Min himself. Sounds like a name like Jasmine, like Judge Min. So the first judge goes, he tells me, it's a no for me. The next judge also says, it's a no for me. And then this other judge is a bit gracious. I am the stone that was rejected. But so now it's time for this boy to show them what he's made of. This boy who's been rehearsing, in fact over-rehearsing, is about to show them, like, I'm about to show you what I got. So I start to sing, guys. Suddenly, I thought I was singing, but I was actually screaming because I was trying to open up my voice because it was gone. I had over-rehearsed. Even on the actual day, it's like I was rehearsing early in the morning. So instead of singing, I'm busy screaming. And that came out even in the judges' comments. So the first judge goes, he tells me, it's a no for me. The next judge also says, it's a no for me. And then this other judge is a bit gracious, a bit considerate. And then he goes, I think you have a lot of potential, but maybe today something is wrong. Maybe you didn't practice. Imagine you've over practiced and then someone is telling you maybe you didn't practice. And then finally, Judge Min himself. Sounds like a name like Jasmine, like Judge Min. So TK, who was known as the mean judge, now makes his comments. And then he says, yo, you know what I think? I think that maybe you're not a performing artist. Maybe you're a recording artist, you know? And for some reason, it's like, I don't know whether he remembered me from like 2 years before when I met him in the studio and I recorded with him when he refused to give me the Karama side. I don't know whether he remembered me, but he was like, I think that you're a recording artist. You need to be in the studio and record music because what you were doing here, you were screaming, you were all over the place screaming, you know, and these comments can really affect you, you know. And then he goes on to say, to be very honest with you, I don't think this competition is for you. You're not the kind of artist that we're looking for. You need to go back and hone your craft. Go back and perfect your craft, you know? So at least he told me to go back and perfect my craft. At least he told me this competition is not for you. You are not the artist we're looking for. There's like a certain type of artist that they were looking for. And I noticed even from the people that they picked those guys like, you know, to my voice, to my R&B and the like. And then there was one rapper called Kapuka. He's the only one who made it like to the final on the list among those who were only singing, you know. So now I'm like, okay, that's good enough. I get the feedback. But now imagine if he told me this competition is not for you. In fact, music is not for you. Try farming. That would have been heartbreaking. That's why judges must also mind what they say to people because you just never know how you may kill someone's dream. Anyway, my point here is, for us as artists also, we are wired differently. There are some who are emotionally strong to handle certain comments, and then there are also those that may be emotionally weak or not too strong or not so strong or not as strong as I was back then, you know, and they may not handle it well. And for me, I took it as feedback and I went ahead and applied some of the things that TK told me as feedback. And guess what? 2 years later, it so happened that the same TK who had criticized me, of course, in a gracious way, happened to be the guy that signed me to become his artist at Romaside Studio, and that's where my career officially started. And that's why all the time you would hear me talk about Romaside on my songs, killing it like a Romasider, Romaside, Romaside, and all those things. And so the same judge that once rejected me in a competition ended up being the guy that facilitated the start of my career officially. I am the stone that was rejected, but I ended up becoming the chief cornerstone of Romaside Studios. At a time when the studio was a bit shaky, and not many people were going there, I helped to lift it up again, and they were back in business. So sometimes that same guy that criticizes you could be the guy that helps you, but it depends on how they criticize you and also how you take their criticism.